Okay, I'm trying to start early, you guys. Trying to start early, there are no guarantees. I mean, anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing. Now, my paper, but I have to see if you guys... Guys, I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I'll talk to you about that later. Because I have no idea if you're even here, because I have no idea if I'm actually online. Let me see. I have this new thing where I keep talking in some other's voice. I think it worked. Damn it! I mean, how lucky are we? I didn't have to make you wait for... I don't even know why you guys would wait, frankly. I'd be like, you know what? She doesn't ever have talked about anything interesting anyway, so I'm out. Like, it's so nice you guys are even here. So much you guys has happened in the last, like, since the last time we've talked. I'm not... Most of it has to do with me sticking my arms in the vaginas of sheep. I had to use chicken shears, you guys. Like the chicken shears that you shear your whole chicken with that look like scissors, but like have the beak of like they're like a hook and they crush. I had to cut one out of you. That was great. And let me just tell you, I wasn't preempting that strike. She had her baby and she's an older ewe that has had triplets before. And then she had one, and I don't go and stick my arm in ewes unless they are obviously having a problem. Like, there's a lot of people, I'll talk to people that are like, yes, I mean, I have to be there for every birth. And I'm like, okay, try having a flock of like 3,000 or 300, and let me know how that works out for you. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's a person that has, I mean, honestly, you don't have enough animals, or, I mean, if all of the animals needed to be helped like that, then they really are bad production animals. Because it's their job to be able to do it on their own. Anyway, what is my point? Would somebody remind me, please? Okay, I heard somebody say something. Anyhow, it was scrappy. So the point is that, like, I don't go and stick my arm in a ewe if I see that she has a baby that's dropped on the ground, especially because I, like, on one day had 20 born. Like, this is last week, you guys, 20 born. And don't forget that I have to go and vaccinate everything, and I get their tails. I dock their tails. I know this is riveting conversation, isn't it? I dock their tails like when they're about a day or two, well, usually 2 days, 3 days old. And the reason why is because they get big really fast, the tails, and then there's a lot of bone, and then it's hard to cut through. And I don't ban them. I think it's cruel. If other people do it, that's fine. I personally don't want to watch my animals flopping around on the ground for like 4 hours. That's just me. I'd rather just cut it off. It's done, right? So I do it early. So there's a lot like there's a lot, especially now I probably have, I don't know, 75 or maybe more babies, 100, I don't know, somewhere in there. Can't really tell you. Anyway, so I don't remember my point again. God darn it, would somebody keep notes? Mainly me, just kidding. I don't know. Anyway, so I go, I don't do anything. So she has a baby. I see that she's had a baby and the baby's fine. I just go over and make sure that like it's going to stand up, and because it's in the day. It stands up, and then I go out there the next day and I'm feeding, and this is at 5 o'clock, so it's been more than 24 hours, and she's down. I'm like, okay, this is bad. When a sheep doesn't come to food, it's never because they're just not hungry. That just doesn't happen. These are flight animals, and the one thing I'll tell you is this is when people lose animals, is when they go, you know what, it's hot today, that one just didn't feel like eating. It never is that. Whenever a sheep doesn't go with the flock, there's a problem. There's always a problem. There's never because they're tired. They like, you know, did an extra hard workout today. You know, it's always because they're bloating, they're sick, or, you know, or there's some other problem, but it's never because they aren't hungry. They have to be with the flock. That's the way that they keep safe, right? So that's just in them. It's in their DNA. It's intercalated and it's baked into the cake, so to speak. So anyway, so she's laying down, and I mean, I'm just like so tired, and all I want to do is go in, because it's like, you know, 6 o'clock at night. I want to just go in and have a beer and, you know, spend time with my husband. And I'm just like, great. But I go over there and I see that she's contracting, and I'm like, great. She has a retained placenta. Oh no, I would have been happy for the retained placenta, let me just tell you. Because I reach in there, and let me just tell you, I might be really slight build. My hands are giant. My feet, giant. Like, I should be like 6 foot tall with my feet in my hands. And I'll have like, it's so awesome because I'll have people say to me, like, a girl came here the other day, she was staying in the cottage, and she is a big girl. She probably weighed 210. She was 6'1". She was talking about, like, we were talking about exactly this because it had just happened. She was like, yeah, she goes, I have really big hands too. And I go, hey, you might be 6'1" and I might be only 5'7". I'm going to put my hands up against yours. We go like this. Literally, her fingertip was like this much bigger than mine. Like, literally, it was like this. My hands are giant. So I'm putting my hands in this ewe, and I feel a baby. I actually don't feel it. What I feel, it felt like, you have to imagine this. It felt like somebody had zip ties inside of her. They were poking my My hand, my bare hand. Yeah, my bare hand. Because I didn't want to, I mean, I just got into it right away. Like I was worried that she was going to die. So I just needed to get whatever was in her out of her. So my bare hand, and you're like, and you bite your nails. Yeah, I do. So I feel these things and it's like, and I realize they're ribs. They are ribs and they aren't in the animal anymore. Yeah, I know. So what had happened, I don't know how that could happen, but at the time, you know, I was thinking maybe it was a mummified baby. That's what I thought, and it wasn't. But it had, obviously, she'd been contracting all night, and her uterus had been trying to push it out. Anyway, I could not get that baby out of her. And my hands, like I said, they're huge. They are big, and it's slippery, and you're trying to get the feet, and you're trying to pull. But I couldn't even find, I mean, all I could feel were these, and the second you know, it's like all bets are off when you feel something you're not used to feeling, when you feel like zip ties. Like, I'm not kidding you. When you feel zip ties inside of them, all I'm thinking is it's going to perforate her uterus. This is all I'm thinking. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a problem, right? I just, like, I start going into full panic zone for this purebred Wednesday W. And I just get up and just bolt for the house and run to the house to my kitchen. Next time you come over, note to self, do not have whole chicken. Anyhow, then I look and I see in the butcher block, the chicken shears. I keep calling them chicken shears. I don't know what they're called. Meat shears? Anyhow, and I like it because since it's got a hook, like, you know, so the way that the scissor part goes, instead of straight, like it's going to, you know, perforate her, they're curved. And I appreciated that because I was like, okay, so it's going to be really hard probably, you know, to really hurt her. You know, I'll probably just be able to get the baby. And I just had to start, it was horrible. And you know, they have like these wires that they use for cattle. But I don't have those. For sheep, you just usually don't have those, right? So I have pretty much everything else. Like I have little lamb pullers that are really like calf pullers. They're like rubber and they have like two little openings on the end. And so that when you go to pull something out that they don't slip because it's wet and slippery, right? Anyway, you guys are like, wow, just before dinner. Anyhow, so that was, and so I'm taking this thing out by pieces. You guys are like, please don't tell us anymore. No, I'm going to tell you more. I had to enjoy it with these paws, right? So then anyway, my husband at that, then he came, Jenny was helping me, thankfully. And Jenny used to be, man, she was like a true cowgirl. Like, really, I mean, that's how we met, you know, we met because her dad was hitting on me, but then we rode horses together. And she was little, you know, she was only like 12 years old. And, but now, like, for her to come out, like, it doesn't happen very often. She doesn't mind cleaning those, I mean, like, meticulously cleaning the studios, but she doesn't come out really and help me with the sheep anymore. But anyhow, so she was having to, I just like, you have to make sure she doesn't get up because, you know, this is like serious. So anyway, but she, by the way, the animal's fine. Not the baby. You guys are like, well, thank you for telling us that. No, the baby isn't fine, but what happened is it, you know, so at some point died, and I don't know how its ribs could be exposed. It was bad. Doesn't matter. Moving on to this next one, which was day before yesterday. And it was at night, and I go and I see that she has, like, the amniotic sac is out of her and the baby's not, which wouldn't really be a problem, you know, if she was going to have it fairly quickly, but it was obvious that it had been hanging out of her for a long time. It had dirt all over it, and there was, like, blood along I mean, it was like, I was like, uh-oh, this is a problem. And so then I go, once again, with these giant hounds. And so anyway, so, I jump over the fence to get at her. I jump over and I have to throw her down, and she weighs like 200 pounds. And I reach in, and she is so narrow that I can't even, I mean, my hand literally could barely, and my husband at that point, I like how he always comes, like, you know, a few minutes later, like as I'm trying to hold her down and still reach, it's pretty, you have to be a contortionist essentially, and I'm not that flexible, but I manage. Anyhow, and then he comes back and he's holding her, and I could not, so I reach in, I could barely get my hand in, and you have to feel, when you reach in, this sounds crazy, but you actually have to feel and orient yourself immediately to where you're at. Like, you have to make sure, first of all, that you don't puncture through into the rectum, and I've done that, and had to put the animal down, by the way. So, like, you have to be really careful. So I reach in, and I'm trying to feel, I need to find the front legs, but not only that, I have to find the head, because the head has to come through, the legs it has to come through like this. Right, this is how it comes through. You're like, wow, that was so, we love the visual. Yeah. And, you know, with human babies, you know, they can turn and they can move, so they can be in the wrong position, but then, like, at the, you know, even, you know, days, I'm thinking even hours, you know, as the contractions, it kind of can orient this. Well, then we were too far gone to be orienting, but I can't feel the head. I feel the two front feet, but I reach, all I can feel is, like, not, like, it feels like buttocks, but there's no split. So I'm like, oh my God, that's its neck, and its head's like over its back, like literally over its back, and it's not, reorienting, and it's been pushing, so now it's stretched way back over its back, and it can't come out like that. It can't come out with its neck like it's Adam's apple first, with its head over its back and its feet like this. So I like reach, and I just reach, and I tried it. It was so hard, you guys. I'm like sweating buckets on both of these. I'm sweating buckets. I reach back and I grab, I have to just put my fingers in its mouth. Reach back, I grab its mouth, and I pull its head around, and I get it so that its head's like where it's supposed to be. And then I reach and I grab the 2 feet and I start to pull, and then it stops. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why is it? And I look at my husband, and sweat's dripping, and I'm like, and I don't even sweat that much. I just am not a big sweater. And I was like, Sean, it won't go through now. And then I reach back and I go and I feel again, and its head's back over its back again. I was like, oh my God, like this is, they did that 4 times to where I had to then push it all the way back in, reach in, grab its mouth, pull its head back out, you know, not out literally of it, but out so that it's from its behind its back and back in between its legs like this. And so then anyway, I do that, and finally I get it, and it comes, and now blood is like pouring out of her, like the placenta is abrupted. It's like really bad. And I realize that I have like seconds to get this baby out, because I've already been doing this like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not kidding you guys. This is like serious shit. Like you are realizing that you're going to kill the baby. Like you understand you're killing the baby right now. I'm like killing the baby and I can't get it out. And it's just, you feel so responsible for it. You so feel terribly responsible. And so I finally with downward pull, I pull as she's contracting, I pull it, and it comes out, and just blood pours out of it. And this thing is literally completely lifeless. Like, I'm not kidding you, completely lifeless. And my husband and I'm looking at my husband, and he's looking, and he goes, I think I just saw its eye move. And you know, that kind of stuff that you think, because your mind wants to tell you it's going to be okay. So you see motions happening that aren't real. And I didn't believe him, because I didn't see it. I didn't have my glasses on either. But anyway, and so I'm like, since he said that, I was like, I'm just going to try and like, I'm cleaning its nose off really quickly. And then I just start giving it air, and then I like swing it. It sounds crazy, but you swing it. You have to get everything out of its nose and out of it. So you have to get everything out. And there's just all this mucus and things coming out of it. And it's just gone. Like there's just no life at all. And I give it some more. And then I just realized we were done. And Sean goes, oh my God, I think its heart's beating. And you can see this little tiny heart beating. It was insane. And so, but now, I mean, it's like, as long as I've been talking, that's how long it took for us to see that. But I kept giving it breaths, and of course it's disgusting. I mean, I've got like, it's got dirt on its face, so I've got placenta and blood on my mouth and dirt on my mouth. You guys are like, remind me to kiss you on the lips. It's really, and I was spitting the whole time, like, because it was gross, right? But, you know, you really have this sense of like need to say, I'm not kidding you, especially when you've interfered, you better do everything you can. Once you've interfered, like if it dies and you didn't interfere, you can just feel bad about not noticing or something. You can make some excuse in your mind, but when you've now interfered and you've killed something, believe me, it feels horrible. And anyway, I started giving it more breaths and just like massaging its little heart, and it was just limp, limp, limp. And then I swung it again, and more mucus came out of it, and then like literally it was shaking. It was like as if it was there's something neurological wrong with it. I was like, oh my God, this is not good. And we bring it in the house, and I was so exhausted after, like, because I had by then went and had a couple beers. You guys are like, this is a very long story. We have time to kill, guys. We have time to kill. Anyway, by the way, they're trying to outlaw literally, like in the court of public opinion, which I care about so much. At this age, I'm not sure that I do. Anyway, the word you guys. Because apparently we're not all guys. I didn't know that until this morning. I went to the ladies' room, and I was like, I went to the ladies' room, and I wasn't standing. I was sitting, and I think these are girl parts. I'm not sure. Then I was like, you're right, I'm not a guy. Anyway, you're like, give it up with the comedy. So I said to my son Connery, who gets up at 4 in the morning and digs for pipelines. That's what he does. So of course he's exhausted. It's like now 9 o'clock at night. I was like, I have to go to bed. Please just do some like physical therapy with it. Try to get it to stand. Try to get it to wake up. I woke up at like 12 o'clock at night to feed it colostrum, and it was standing. Now I have 2 bottle-fed lambs. You're like, wow, thank you for finally giving us the baby, because that was more painful than the labor pains. You cutting out the dead newborn and then pulling the other one out. It was bad. I'm sorry. I was trying to get to the point, but it was a story that the details really matter, you guys. Oh, but besides that, you're like, all you could have just said is, sorry I wasn't here last night. We would have been good with that. No, you guys, lambing, I'm telling you. And you know what? When I met Martin Daly, you're like, if you tell us this story one more time, Natalie, we're tuning out. Martin Daly told me, this was a weird thing for him to say to me, I thought, at the time. I wasn't weird, like I was like, that's such a weird thing to say. What I was thinking was, wow, that's so, this is exactly what I thought. I thought, men like to overemphasize their importance. This is what I thought. He was right, by the way. And what he said was, you know, I just, you know, we love having new sheep people, you know, people that you know, want to show. And of course, it's great to just get more people involved in the sheep industry. And then he said, I just know that it's going to be really hard for you during lambing season. And I looked at him and I was like, okay, just to let you know, I do have a master's degree in animal science and a bachelor's. And we've been raising $1 million racehorses. I got this. No. Just to let you know, if you raise your sheep and goats like racehorses, they'll die. Because there's really nothing, you know, there really is nothing more delicate than a horse. I mean, horses are very delicate, but they're completely different types of delicate. I mean, it's just a different type of delicate. The way we treat horses, you actually can't, I try. I mean, I was like, Martin, I'm sorry to disappoint you here, but I think really honestly, you guys are like making too much out of these little sheep, these ruminants. They're worth what? I don't know, tops $3,000. We're talking about racehorses that are worth, you know, upwards of $1 million. We can raise those just fine. Now, totally, like, I'm telling you, I lost a lot of animals the first couple of years because it's totally different. Like, it's just totally different. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. You guys are like, we don't really give it two shits, but you can just keep going on and then we'll go and watch, I don't know, porn. You guys are like, stop. I'm going to read and see what you guys are doing right now. Blah. Hi, everybody. I actually thought Linda Gaver said, I thought, that's whack, but that's not what she said. She goes, was nerve-wracking. I was like, whack, that's so, what is it? That's so, who said that? I remember, crack is whack. It was Brittany, I've already forgotten, Whitney. You're like, not Brittany Houston. Don't conflate Britney Spears and Whitney Houston. She's turning in the grave right now. Okay. So, Miss Shelley, hello. You did not miss last night. And that so reminds me, you guys, of House Money. Sutton Kelly, hello. And Ms. Dahlia, Allison Blair, no, let me remember your name. This is like taxing me because it's been a week, like it's been a week. Okay, wait, let me think about this because I remembered last week. Oh, damn it. Oh, pet and person products, you have to tell me. Darlene, you're like, if I would have read, it says right there, it's Darlene from Oregon. Hi, Darlene. And then Allison Blair. We're doing this snit along, the sweater knit along, but it doesn't start until April 2nd. So you guys, April 2nd, knit along. And then they're going to get so mad at me if I don't do this. Okay, facebook.com/groups/Reading Method. I guess I should tell you. Where's my paper? Where's my paper? All things life, knitting, yarn, and fiber, while high on Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Cheap American beer. I should add M&Ms to it, too. Peanut M&Ms. I just have to tell you guys, I'm so addicted. It could be like the debacle when I started eating, like, you know, 4 eclairs a day, and then with the, like, 2 king-size boxes of Milk Duds, where I wake up one day and I'm not able to fit my pants, so I'm going to have to, like, throw back on those. Anyway, moving on. And Linda, hey, everyone. I'm a newbie from North Carolina. And then, hi, Linda, thank you for joining us. Jody Andrews, I'm also in Oregon. I'd love to do crochet. You can crochet a long sweater yes, do it, please. My knitting is ridiculous. Okay, my knitting is ridiculous too, by the way, so just to let you know. You know why my knitting is ridiculous? Because I have what's called an attention deficit disorder, coupled with hyperactivity, which a lot of people don't believe in that, but it is real. I think a lot of it has to do, I mean, it's obviously everything is nature and nurture, so your DNA coupled with your environment growing up. And so I think people that would naturally be high strung, if you give them an environment that is unpredictable and chaotic and violent, then they end up like having like PTSD. And then I think that because you're always on alert, high alert, I think that's part of where the attention deficit comes from. Because people with attention deficit, it's not that they can't pay attention, it's that they pay attention to everything, which means that they can't focus on one thing. Hence the reason I can't organize, which I wish I could flip this camera around and show you what this place looks like right now, because you would be like, wow, how does she find anything? And the answer to that would be, I don't. I go into a full-blown panic when someone buys something, which they did because I just had a sale. So I probably sold 125 pounds worth of fiber So I actually need to pack those, which I packed a third of them today. And it sometimes takes me a while to find what I've listed, even though it's all right here in this small area. But it's piled on top of each other by numbers. 1 through 70, 80. 1 through 80 is the numbers of the lots. And there's more than one in each lot usually. Not all of them, but some of them only have one. But you guys are like, will you just shut up. Just shut up. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Sorry. It's been a while. Okay, it's not too late to start. We're talking about, I think Natalie's first video for that is April 1st or 2nd. Is there a video? Yes, there is. We're going to do it together. Magdalene Bradshaw, you're here from Arkansas and my horrible sore throat. I thought you were going to say cold sore. Like, wow, we won't kiss on the lips then. It feels like I ate razor blades and, oh, razor blades. That's never a good thing. Let's see. Remember to guide your bride by our community. Oh, see, I thought it was talking to me. It's like, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Guard your privacy. And abide by our community. How do I guard my privacy? And abide by our community guidelines. I'm reading like I've never read before. And Christine Kuhn and Samantha Vincent and Valerie. I think I just sent your package, Valerie. Shannon Graber, Ellie Mae, Julia, Deanna, and Miss Dolly's contemplating knitting the overlap shoulder vest and haramaki. Haramaki sounds like teppanyaki. You're like, it just rhymes. So you're going to be making teppanyaki while you're knitting an overlap shoulder vest? Okay. So Girl Quilting. Hi. Hi, So Girl. You're So Girl. Joanne Ratliff. Hello from Tennessee. And Linda. Hi. And Jeffrey Mercer. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jeffrey. And let's see. Amber. Just left the gym. Okay, make us feel bad that you went to the gym, because I got to tell you, at this point, I don't even, I'm just stupid. Watching Yarnitarian is time, you're beyond ready. It's not me. It's, you know how spell check does weird things with it. Yeah, you got it. And then, Shannon was saying I had to do that with my mini horse once. It wasn't fun. Ooh. Allegra Redux, but without the stripes. Allegra Redux. Ooh, Allison Blair. I'm going to have to look that up. Susan, there was just, I was just having my horses, like this. It did make horses, it made hoses. So you're having your hoses' feet trimmed. It's so cute. Then she fixed it. It's not your fault. Let's blame them. And then Joy says, love these conversations. Yeah, she's like, it's so uplifting. Actually, it was let's just try and make it uplifting that the one baby lived. The mother's fine. Yes, the one baby didn't live, but it wasn't going to live. And then, Shannon said, this is good for me because we lost our first and only lamb this morning. Okay. And just to let you know, okay, so there's this rule in raising chickens. I don't remember what the percentage is, but essentially it is like, if you can't raise chicks, then you aren't a farmer. In other words, if you can't literally get them to adulthood, to where they're either laying or you're going to be able to like consume them in some way. And I remember when I first started raising chickens, and I had a few things, mishaps, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not a real farmer now. Let me weep. And then I realized, no, just get your shit together and like figure it out and problem solve. And then I did. And then I realized that you could, it all like, and then I remember telling Martin what my mortality was. And he was like, his eyes got big, like, wow, you suck. And then this is awesome. Because at the time, he wasn't raising Wensleydales. He was inseminating with Wensleydale semen. And at the time, I only had like a couple Teeswaters because there were hardly any. I mean, when I say hardly any, I mean like probably like 10 to 20 in the United States. I mean, hardly, like literally. Like this is like 2005. There was, I mean, I remember I got the first purebred Teeswater ewe lamb, except for her twin sister from the Dows. Anyway, and so then he had been raising merinos, and really good merino. I mean, because he'd been importing semen for a long time, so he had really upgraded his merinos, and they were, as far as I know, amazing. And so then what happens is he gets Scotlands, and then they have hybrid vigor, right? Because he's bringing semen and he's putting it on other sheep, so then they're crossbreds. And so they're like, dogs where they're just really hardy. And Gotlands are a great breed of sheep, by the way. Anyway, so, I told him my mortality with the Wensleydales, and he was like, just shaking his head like, okay, like there's something wrong. So then he ends up getting married to a really wonderful Joy Daly. He's a wonderful woman, but she lived in New York, and I think she raised border Leicesters. And so what happens is that she says, I want to start raising Wensleydales. And so he's like, oh, okay. So they start raising Wensleydales. And I had seen him, he'd only been doing a couple years raising the Wensleydales at this point. And he was like, God, these Wensleydales, Natalie, I got to tell you, like, okay, now somebody's going to let the breed association people know. They're going to be like, that Natalie Redding is ruining our breed so that we can't sell them for $3,000 anymore. Well, sorry, it's not my fault that you don't have any genetics and they're all inbred and that they have problems. They have problems, and that's just the fact. If anybody would like to, like, you know, except you have to wait till Martin sells all of his before you ask him his true opinion, because he will tell you. Because we've talked about it many times. But anyway, so he wants to sell this ewe to me, and she wasn't very expensive. She was pregnant. He's like, hey, you know, because he didn't really want these. It's like, these suckers are some bad mothers, and, you know, they're difficult to deal with, and, you know, they have problems because they're so inbred. So he's like, you know, I'll sell her to you for, I can't remember what it was like $800 or something cheap. I mean, that's really cheap for a pregnant ewe that he had inseminated even. So she had like, the baby was going to be purebred. And I remember saying no. I actually said no. And the reason I said no is because this is when we were filming for Sheer Madness, and the whole camera crew was there and everything. And I just purchased a ram from him for like $2,500 that I was bringing back with me, that I still have, by the way. And there was something that told me not to buy her, and I didn't buy her, but I really kind of kicked myself when I drove home, and I had 20 hours to think about it. And then he calls me, like, I want to say it was like a couple months later. It's like, by the way, good thing you didn't buy that ewe, because like she died and lost the baby. I was like, oh, typical Wensleydale. Anyway, why am I saying this? Oh, because I'm saying this because that's what I felt bad. Like I was like really a sucky shepherd, you know, and then I realized that it does have a lot to do with, like how I was saying, like if you talk to, let's say, pygmy goat breeders, ask how many people are present for the birth. That's why we don't have commercial flocks. A commercial flock meaning more than 1,000, 2,000. There aren't commercial breeders of pygmy goats, which, by the way, amazing, cute. You want all of them. As babies, they're like little chihuahuas. Anyhow, but you can't, because they're so, that we, you know, selectively bred them to be so small they have dystocia, birthing difficulties. So you need to be present. So if you have if you're not present for those, then you're going to have a very high mortality because nobody helped them, right? And it's going to be difficult to. I think there's, you know, dog breeds. There's dog breeds that are like that, right? I mean, I think I don't breed dogs, so it's not. And I have, you know, my dogs are not. Scrappy should be intact. I mean, he is a perfect specimen. But like my border collies are intact, but I don't breed them. One day I should, because like the European and they're the, what is it? It's the International Border Collie, whatever, International Sheepdog. I don't remember, ISDS, whatever. That's their registry, and that's supposed to be the good one. And I did pay to have them imported, and I don't breed them even though they're intact, because I'm afraid, what if I have a litter of 9 puppies and I have to worry about a shepherd buying them because they're going to make really shitty dogs otherwise, because if they're not working, they're just going to chew your house up. That's essentially what's going to happen. So I just don't breed them. I just am like, I'll just have to buy, every time I need one, I'll just have to buy one. And even though I have, it's stupid. Anyway, but the point is you guys are like, God darn it, Natalie, she's long-winded today. I've been 8 days without you. Locked in my house with my dog, making out. And so anyway, I realized that at this point that it really depends on the breed that you have. And you know, you can have your birthing difficulties at the very beginning and then not have any. It's all going to average out. I think I told him my mortality was like 15% or something. And that's actually really high. Might have even been 20% at that time. Might have been 20%. And now, you know, I would say out of the 75, like knock wood, I haven't lost any baby goat. Oh, last year I did a humdinger. Martin told me to prevent coccidiosis, and he's right. He's not wrong. I was wrong because it doesn't matter. To treat the does and the ewes for coccidiosis a month before they give birth. Well, they're not all giving birth at the same time. So I just picked a number. I just picked, okay, let's just assume that, like, you know, they're short day breeders. Short day breeders. So they start breeding around October, November, and where I live. And so we're going to say like March. They're going to have it March, April. So I was like, I'm going to try and give them the medicine. I don't know, 60 days, and that should hit pretty much everybody. So so I go and I give them this medication that's not available in the United States, but they widely use it in England and Europe and in Australia. So, and they don't have any problems with it, and it's, you know, safe for pregnant mothers. And anyway, I had abortions. I mean, I can't even tell you how many abortions my sheep had and my goats. I mean, there was just half of my Angora goat flock was aborted. Scooby was happy because he eats them. You're like, wow, that's recycling at its finest. I don't kiss Scooby on the lips, and you wouldn't either if you saw his mouth. Oh my God, it looks filthy. Moving on. My point is, don't feel bad, Shannon. I want you to feel okay about that because it could be right now, and then you'll have no more. Okay, Allison, you got your yarn today? Wait. Your yarn today, Allison Blair. Got your yarn today, but messed up and ordered the wrong size needles. You got your yarn, not from me, right? Because I'm saying I didn't ship out any yarn, so I'm guessing you got yarn from somewhere else. Thanks. Just kidding. Diana, hi. And then Mandolin actually probably likes this because she says her sore throat's really begging her, which I gotcha. And then Allison says, first I have to figure out how to read the sweater pattern. Don't worry. Actually, I really should pay Pat Henley. I should pay Pat Henley to come on. I really should. I think there's an app that let me think about this. There's an app that I have to have two people on, but I can have her in Google Hangouts. I can have her in Google Hangouts. We can do it on Google Hangouts and for the sweater knit along. I'm going to talk to her. I know I already talked about this. I was like, if we're going to do the Igawa sweater, if anyone wants to do that, then I will hire her. I think I said 10 or 12 people. I think I was like 12, and I was like 10, I was like 8. I don't even remember. But I was like, because I realized that not, everybody's going to want it because the pattern is, it says it's like a beginning, like a bit between beginning and intermediate, but it's more of an intermediate pattern. So, and have her talk about that. But I think it might be better if I have her. She's freaking awesome, you guys. I'm telling you. Like and you like hearing her too because she has a nice English accent. She's been here for 20 years, so it's like it's really funny because in my mind it still is very, very English. And I know Madonna went over and lived in England for 15 minutes and had an English accent. So in other words, the converse of that would be someone, Patty conceivably could come over here and live for 20 years and not even have an English accent. I have met someone like that. They didn't have an English accent at all, and they'd been here, I want to say, for 10 years. And it was gone completely. So that makes you wonder. Like, is it that they just imprint on languages really well? I don't think so. Or they're just some people that are really, they purposefully tried to get rid of it. And since I don't speak 2 languages, besides Canine and English, which I don't think Canine counts, I'm not sure, we should ask. What is it, Linda's Rosea? Is it like Linda Rosea? No, that's a road. Linda Rosea is a road here. Linda, what is the one? God darn it, it's like Linda. No, it's what is it? Used to be the one with all the languages. Who cares? Anyway, it doesn't even matter. Anyway, you guys are like, wow, you killed that joke. I did, huh? I'm really good at that. Where was I? So I'm just wondering though how someone can lose an accent that easily, and if they go back to England and they have an American accent, if people are like, well, listen to that faker. After 10 years, he completely loses his English accent. I doubt it. Like that's what we do about people that are, American that live over there. We're like, oh, what a faker trying to get an English accent and sound all posh. And then Ellie Mae says, I've only pulled a few lambs. Not fun. It is not fun. And then Christine says, I want to hear the whole story. I want to hear the whole story. My dog and I have a new trick. That's why he's in here right now whining. I want to pound his little prune. Hi, Jen Eddington. And then Linda's saying, glad you made it here after that. Oh, yeah, what are you going to... And then I actually, this finger is infected right now. Actually, you know how it gets, like, you guys don't look at my hands. I was like, literally, I'd rather have you see me naked than have you see my hands. Okay, maybe not. No, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's a toss-up. But it's starting to get where, because you guys are going to be so excited to hear this. It's getting pus in it now, I think, to that point. Like, it's, like, really getting engorged, which I love to say that word. Anyhow, Pam says, I would freak lucky animals. Oh, well, I don't know. Sean says that he's like, oh, you really saved that lamb, Natalie. Oh, gosh, that's like like the 34th one I've seen you save. And I remember looking at him going, no, because there's always that shadow of doubt in your mind that if you would have left her, she may have had it with no problem. Something could have happened, like some mirror. Because, it does, like Jory, no, or was it Jade? It was a previa. It was Jory. It was a partial. It was a partial previa, placenta previa, and I went to. You guys are like, what? We get to hear another story about you, and now it's your uterus and your unborn baby. Yes. And so they wanted me to have a C-section, and I went to Sharp Mary Birch, which is like a really well-known women's hospital in San Diego, and they said, the doctor said, just let me tell you something. I already had one abruption this year, and it just happened, so the chances of it happening to you are like not really good. So you tell the doctor, because I didn't want a C-section, because I like had Connery at home. Jory was my second child, and I wanted to have her the same. I want to have all my kids at home. And he said, have her at the hospital, but just have them have an operating room. Just say you're gonna have to have an operating room ready, because I'm not having any anesthesia, and I'm having her natural, and you're not interfering except if something goes horribly wrong. And then I had an ultrasound right before. I want to say it was days before, and I was like, I always carried like 40 weeks. And she'd righted she had righted herself, and the placenta had pushed up. He said, see, I told you everything was going to be fine. So things can happen like at the last moment. So, you know, it does occur to you that like as you're interfering, that everybody could die. And, you know, if you would have not interfered, that just like the one that I actually perforated into her rectum, through her uterus and into her rectum. Actually, it was like the vaginal canal, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And I had to shoot her. It was, I mean, if I would have, who knows? I mean, you know, the baby would have probably not made it, but she would have made it. Instead, I lost both of them. So it's like a tough thing, I'm telling you. It's like a really, it's like, and the thing is, okay, if you're a doctor, I got to be honest with you, you probably, like you had, you know, all of your residency to like experience, especially if you worked in ER, like you got to think right now. And so, and that's, I don't know. I don't know. I would like to think that doctors in the ER are really skilled at these. And there are some people that are just really, I mean, in crisis, just seem to go into super survival mode. And I think that I might. But I guess if you're a doctor, you would second guess everything you did if something went wrong. It's only when you're like, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so you're like, really? You're not a doctor? No, I'm not. I just like to think I am. And it's, oh my gosh, Chastity, you're doing the Igawa. You're right now. Wait. She's just rubbing my nose in it. Thank you. God, Chastity, are you serious? Are you an expert knitter? She's like, no, actually, I'm just a beginner. I just picked up my sticks today, and I'm halfway through it. Okay, I would be really jealous. And then, okay, Susan is spinning her sweater yarn. It's looking kind of ugly right now. Yeah, sometimes I have that feeling sometimes on my yarn, too. And then Ms. Shelley says she's knitting a blanket sweater. It's basically a big sweater that you seem to make sleeves. Okay, I got that. Okay, you guys, okay, some people want to do the Igawa. Okay. Okay. And then, okay, I like the blanket sweater. I could do a blanket sweater. You're like, let's see you finish something. Lavender essential oil is good for wounds. Yeah, I always go straight for like antibiotics. Okay, Ellie Mae says she's self-conscious about her hands, the farmer hands. I'm telling you guys, there is nothing, my hands, and you can't appreciate them. But I'm telling you, they have scars all over the top of them right here from, I know my nails. You know what? I give myself manicures with my teeth. Very, very effective. Anyhow, and you know what I use to get the dirt out of my because you know it gets in your cuticles. When you're a farmer, I swear to God, you cannot get the dirt out of your cuticles, which I don't even, your cuticles are funky when you bite your nails. I don't know what it is. It makes them grow more or something. I file my actual skin to get the dirt off because it won't come off if you scrub it. I'm not kidding you. Especially if you've been shearing, it gets, because oil, and it gets so deep in there underneath your cuticle, you can't get it out. It doesn't matter. I have cuts all over my hands from hay, from alfalfa hay. It like makes it makes it react. And I take my wedding ring off because alfalfa hay got caught under here. You guys are like, here I am, the old lady again, talking about all of her wounds. It got, you know, like if you have, what is it, when you're allergic to like metals, and you have like all the blisters, little blisters. This is not, because my wedding ring is made out of metal. It's platinum and gold. However, it has moisture caught underneath it, and it made these horrible blisters. It felt like there was like a needle underneath sticking in my finger. And of course, it was because apparently I wasn't hygienic enough with my ring. I needed to like clean it out. Guys, like, could we just move on to the sweater again? Yes, I'm going to show you my trick with my dog. You're going to be so excited. Oh, I want to tell you about Airbnb people. And then Charlotte. And then Pam said, unless you're allergic to it. Oh, lavender oil, yeah. She found out that the hard way. Charlotte says she needs to knit a big sweater with a grandpa sweater out of bulky yarn. I like the only thing I hate about bulky yarn is that unless it's superwash, it can pill. Oh, there's a Lego Redux in the files. Okay, that's cool. So you guys, there's files, and I haven't put my file in yet. And I should have been the first one to do it. Anyhow, but now for the next 2 days, I'm going to be, you guys have no idea how many, I mean, the amount of packaging I have is monumental. I'm not kidding you. Okay. Here you go. I'm going to show you something. And I put a third of them were gone today. So what I do is this doesn't look like much. These are just the ones that I haven't put. These are just the labels, the few labels that I haven't put on the boxes yet. Get ready. Hang on. Oh wait, is there more here? Hang on. There is more here. Yeah, there's more here. I was like, that didn't seem like very many. No, these are the ones. These are the ones just in here that I haven't put on boxes yet. Now, these are the boxes that I've already have the labels on because I did that this morning. And as I said, a third. Now you have to imagine how if I use a box this big, there's a lot in here. And these boxes all have labels. Oh, I shouldn't show the address of somebody. You might want to stalk them. Yeah, so anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot. I have to go into the bulk mail at the post office. You're like, yeah, Natalie, you're so special. Brag, why don't you? Not bragging, I'm just saying we drive into the bulk mail place. And then when I was there, I was like, oh, there's pallets. Because I'm going to make a pallet fence, so I went to Costco. You know, my hay, my 80,000 pounds of hay was on pallets. So I had to already, I don't want to say steal them. Let's use a different word. Like a politician. I permanently borrow. I was permanently borrowing because they're always kind of in the same area as the trash, so we could say that they're trash. But I went to Costco and I filled my truck up with pallets quickly, because I knew it's at any moment somebody's going to be walking by or someone that's official, and of course someone did. And they're like, excuse me, ma'am, are you a vendor? And I was like, yes, I'm just taking my pallets back. I mean, I really actually did say that. I was like, look official and sound official, and they are, and the guy's just like, oh, okay. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to use that line again. Is it ever gonna? And then if you would have said, what is it that you sell? I would have been like, orange, pineapple, oranges, lemons. Milk. Lamb? Potatoes? Dog food? Until he goes, oh yeah, the dog food. You're the dog food lady. Yeah, I'm the dog food lady. Just, oh, okay. Let's see. And then Ellie Mae says, can't imagine what you have to ship out. I can't wait for it. It's very exciting. I'm going to try. Because tomorrow people know that there was, okay, my God. You guys. Lisa, okay, this is what happened. Okay, I short-circuited today over this. By the way, I had an order for a lady named Cheryl, and it was mohair. It was mohair like that's dyed, so it was lots of both colors. Okay, and I had downloaded labels the other day. I had a label for her then, so I packed that. So those are the ones I did first, and then but I had downloaded a bunch of labels today too. And then there was another package for her, and I was like, okay, that's dumb now for me because I don't want to have to send her like in 2 different packages when I could just put them in a medium flat rate. So then I was like, okay, so I go and I cancel both of those labels and I download a medium flat rate. I put all of her stuff into the medium flat rate and it's ready to go. And then what is it that then I looked down and another package had a shipping label on it. And I'm like, oh my God, I've downloaded 4 labels for this lady at this point. 2 of them that I noticed that I wanted to combine, then an extra one that came from I don't know where, and then canceled the 2, downloaded the medium, bought another one, a medium flat rate, and now I have this other one. You only have 48 hours to cancel these things, right? So I'm like hurrying because it was 48 hours ago I did one of them, right? So I go and I look up her email address to see what the transactions are, and I realized that one of the stuff that was in one of the packages to make me have to put it in the medium flat rate, that order was refunded and canceled. So then I had to not only Oh my God, my dog. He just got hit by the light. I'll fix that. Anyway, not only did I have to then avoid the medium flat rate and the label that I saw on the ground, I had to, so there were 4 labels generated, all of which I had to get a refund from the post office, from PayPal, whatever, and then one that actually was for her order. All of this didn't sound like it took very long, by the way, just to let you know. It ate about 35 minutes of my day and short-circuited my brain to where I was, like, actually got tired. I got tired and told Sean I have to take a break right now. I have to take a break because I'm extremely irritated at this whole thing. What's going on? Let me fix this light. I'll be right back unless I fall off my shoes in this sea of fleece. I mean, you guys, being me is challenging because I don't have any organizational skills. Hang on. I'm going to be there, I swear. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. You're like, what is this new voice you have? I don't know. I was doing it to my husband yesterday. See, he said that I was sounding like, I don't know, what did he say? I can't remember who he said I was sounding like. But he was making fun of me. Okay, you guys, if you can't, once I show you Scrappy's trick, you guys can't imitate it and you tell everybody. You're going to go viral. Natalie's getting worms. Natalie's key to staying skinny is she gets worms from her dog. See, hang on. Where's my glasses? I can't find my glasses without my glasses on. Let's see. Do you know, did I tell you, okay, so I was just thinking about this, I don't know why, but my last name legally is Moten, M-O-T-O-N, because I had to change my name to Redding, not because, you guys, like, we have heard this story like 4 or 5 times now, Natalie's crazy, because before 9/11, for the millennials, you could use whatever name you wanted as long as it wasn't for fraudulent purposes, before 2000, September 11, 2000. After that, you had to actually use your legal name. So I was married to my husband in 1994. So, well, basically, I just would go by Redding. So all of my, everything was in Redding except for, everything, even my driver's license. But then I had to change it. And then slowly it's had to be, because like PayPal then decided that, I can't remember what it was. I had to update something and then they made me change it to Moten. And et cetera, it doesn't matter. Why am I, so Moten actually, M-O-T-O-N, and Moten actually is my aunt. I love legacies in families. Like, I'm not trying to get down on, what is her name? Who is it? The one that says she's a Cherokee, or what did? She identified with her Cherokee heritage. What is her name again? Elizabeth Warren. Anyway, so not to get down on Elizabeth Warren. But, my aunt said the name Moten came from the word, mountain. And she said somehow it had a relation to French, which would be mouton, which would be sheep. So I don't know how she got Big Mountain. She got Big Mountain was what she said. And then she said that the French came over and the Cherokees got it from the French and it meant Big Mountain. And she had this whole story about the name Moten. And actually the name Moten is Morton, but there's no R in Cherokee. So like, which is funny because when you think about it, Cherokee has an R in it. White man, keeping the Cherokees down. Anyway, so that's Salaki in Cherokee. Cherokee is Salaki. And so when they say Wado, when you call and they're like, they say Wado, isn't that funny? But they don't have R. So I was thinking about that. So with no R, like Roan would be Own and Jory would be Joy, which she was actually. And Redding would be Eddie. I'd be like related to Jen Eddington, kind of. I mean, by name. But isn't that interesting? You're like, not really, not really. I thought it was interesting that they don't have the R. And yes, I have my Indian card. They look really dumb, though, because they're made out of paper. They do have a seal on them. You'd think they would be laminated. The CDIB cards, which is the Certificate of Degree of Indian Blood, those ones are laminated, but they do look fake. I'm not kidding you. But when I go into the Social Security office, which is never, but I went in for one thing, I don't remember what it was, and they identified me by my Cherokee registration number. So they have it like it's linked. Isn't that, that part is interesting to me, because the government can't figure out anything. Like, I have a PPO, and they just denied. I thought PPOs were not. PPO was the new HMO, by the way. They denied my getting an MRI for my neck that has been bad for. And I mean, this is like, I actually got, was on workman's comp for this, like in 25 years ago. But they literally, it's not like I've had the same doctor for 20. They've been treating me for my. chronic headaches from spinal stenosis and osteoarthritis in my neck for 20-something years. And they're like, why are you having an MRI of your neck? We're denying that. I mean, I just literally started laughing. Like, I'm on Neurontin and all kinds of drugs for my neck. And they're like, no, we're not going to let you have that MRI. We need the doctor's approval. Again, we need him to, he already approved it, obviously, but they wanted, I can't remember what it was, they wanted him to speak to them. I guess he had to speak to them, actually speak to them, which get your doctor to do anything. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I want one more thing. Okay. And Samantha says she wishes she was closer. No, I wish you were closer. I wish you were closer. You don't wish near as much as I wish. And then Diana says we go to Tractor Supply or Tractor Sales Place. I have one right down the road, and I would rather steal them because then they can't say no. I'm serious. I actually do. I go in the middle of the night and steal them at like 4 in the morning. We made shelters for the alpacas. That's so sweet. Yeah, I want to make a bunch of pallet stuff. And then Lisa says, I feel your pain. Shipping label mixed up. Oh, Lisa, I don't want to one-up you here, but I'm going to tell you, nobody makes more mistakes. Ask the people that, I mean, telling you, if someone's been, I've been doing it for 15 years messing up labels. And you know what? At first I used to get really irritated, like when someone would be like, asking me a question about if, is this right? Because I think you made a mistake. I'd be like, of course I didn't. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. But now I just am contrite. The second someone says it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I probably did. I'm really sorry. Don't worry. I'm going to make it right. Like, I don't even question unless I can't find it. Then I'll be like, okay, this I didn't find. So can you help me out? Maybe just send me forward it to make sure that I'm not going to beat Kristen. I'm just kidding. Kristen has made one mistake ever. And I've made, I don't know, at this point with her, thousands. It's ridiculous. Oh, Ms. Shelley, are you good at organizing? Because I'd let you stay here. I make it sound like a daunting task. I don't know. For organizing people, I think it's easy. When people have the organizational brain, I think you're like, okay, let's not lump us all of us organizational people into one. But I think it's there's some sort of satisfaction out of it. Of course, because it's something that's so helpful to people. It is. Oh my God, thanks for one-upping me, Jen. 200 kilograms, so roughly, 500 pounds. My Rams go in with use this weekend, except my caramel-colored English Lessers that went out early. Oh my gosh. Oh wait. That's crazy. That's a lot. Okay, so I was going to say something else about, oh my gosh, you guys. So when I went to buy Jade's Christmas present, her Christmas lizard, there were ball pythons. There's all kinds of pythons, right? Several, pythons, there are pythons plenty for sale in these stores, right? So, which is neither here nor there. So I was buying I was online and I needed a new pair of boots. And because, quite frankly, whenever I travel, I like to bring my boots because they're good, especially cowboy boots are super easy to pull on and off in the airport, right? And I don't like to wear flat shoes. I really don't. And so at least the heels like that, so you don't look stupid like why is she wearing stilettos in an airport and falling over herself? At least and they're just easy to take on and off. Doesn't matter. So I saw these python boots and they were not that expensive. They were don't say it's a lot because I don't think it is. Well, I live in California. They were $300, but I had a 25% coupon off that I didn't even know they had. I went on and did I did a Google search. Before I buy anything, I do a Google search. So I do a Google search, get this coupon, and then free shipping, and it's out of the state, so there's no sales tax. So now it's feeling really cheap, right, in my mind. So, and they'll last me forever, as long as I like them, right? And I put them in my cart, it goes, no shipping to California. The only state, no shipping to California. I was like, no shipping to California. Wait a minute. It doesn't say wild python. It doesn't say, it's just python. And let me tell you, just to let you know, if it's $300 boots, they can't be, these are not Louboutin pythons. They're would you stop it? He's trying to kill himself. You think I'm kidding? This dog, okay, now I'm going to have to move the camera and show you. Okay, he's going to get out though. I'm telling you, this dog, oh, no, he got out, never mind. He actually walked inside a bag and had his face smashed in the plastic. He's trying to suffocate himself. Anyway, just so that I'd be brokenhearted. Doesn't matter. So, so as far as the python thing is concerned, so I'm just saying, that this, I'm sure that these are like pythons that are, I almost said domesticated. Domestically raised, could that be right? Anyway, it was the stupidest thing. So, of course, I'm like, that's such bullshit. I'm going to order them, have them sent to Jan Massey's house, and then have her forward them to me. Send her a label. Then I'm like, you know what? How much you want to bet they're not even going to, that it says that, but they don't have any like safety measure that's built into their website. I'm just going to buy them and see if they bounce the money back to me. They're not going to bounce the money back to me. Sure enough, they're shipped. I mean, you guys, like, just to let you know, in my mind, because I'm already like on this thing about wool and people, because they chip away at it. See, it doesn't start, it's like they throw the ideas out there. And then 20 years later, you can't buy leather anymore or wool. Like, you start with python, and I know you guys think that I am old. I know. But I'm just saying, I'm not being paranoid. I'm really not. It starts out little, like, it's like, okay, I mean, because I didn't even know, who would have known that you can't buy python from stores and have it shipped to California. These things, like these rules, like this Proposition 12, I didn't even know anything about the Proposition 12 thing, because it only affects people sending, you know, pork products and chicken products into California, not from outside, but from other states. Like, so why would you know unless you were a commercial producer of like pork and chicken, right? So like these things slip past, and then pretty soon, I know they wanted to take our hypodermic needles away for our animals. And you would have to get them through it, not because people are using them, but because they wanted to stop you using antibiotics, because you guys know that not only, and they wanted to stop our coccidiosis medicines, they want to stop all of our medicines. And you guys all know that raise animals, if you stop our medicines and make us get medicines from our vets, we can't have animals because you can't afford it. You can't afford every time you need something to go to a vet and have a vet come out, especially when you know more than the vets do. It's like ridiculous, but every other state you can have it. So that was my other thing. I'm like, fine, go ahead and take away well, first of all, my friend is a vet, so that helps. But, you know, when, you know, if I can't, you know, let's say I haven't seen her in a while or something, I don't want to just, you know, call and be like, hey, by the way, I need, so I won't do that. What I would rather do is just have it shipped to Jan and have her just repackage it up for me and ship it to my house. Because any other state can have it because there's right to farm. There's no right to farm in California. Basically, it's, you guys are like, stop this propaganda. You're a propaganda machine, Natalie. I'm not, it's real. Ask Allison Lefane. I'm telling you, she'll tell you. Okay, they could be from the Everglades and made into belts. It's possible, but is that illegal? It doesn't seem like it should be, because aren't the Everglades full of them? I'm not trying to be, don't think I'm trying to be mean here. I don't know. I mean, people can educate me. I'm happy to be educated. That doesn't mean I'm not going to buy python, by the way, but. And then Shannon says, you got that right about the cost of a vet. I know. And then Amber Holter says, newsflash, vegan leather isn't leather. And not only that, it's not really vegan. If vegan means like no, that's the other thing, like the whole thing. I mean, okay, so the idea of, and we've talked about this, and I'm not trying to, you know, I don't want to like get into debate at all about it. I'm just saying that for Newcastle's disease, remember I said the whole thing about Newcastle's disease, like they're slaughtering people's chickens 10 miles from me. They're just going to neighborhoods and saying, even if they tested negative, we're slaughtering them. The state veterinarian, look it up, state veterinarian in California. So in Menifee. If you don't vaccinate, the only way that your animals, if they're exposed to Newcastle's and not, and most likely not going to get it, is if they're vaccinated. And if they're vaccinated, they can't be organic. So you know how the whole thing about, this is this paradox here. Like the big measles outbreak, how people are like just scorning other people that didn't vaccinate their children and saying, you know, you should be ashamed of yourself for not vaccinating your children because you're helping to spread the outbreak of measles. Why isn't anybody doing that about Newcastle's and chickens? All you people that didn't vaccinate your birds, you should be ashamed of yourselves, because now you're propagating this Newcastle's, and who knows, it could like mutate and it could become like a human Newcastle's, right? Nobody's doing that because it's not congruent with the whole thing of like, we want, you know, we want to be able to charge $1 gazillion for organic shit. It does not align with that. That whole, and I'm like, when it comes to this agricultural shit, I know what I'm talking about. So anybody else that is not raising animals for a living, doesn't really have a voice in this. It's always the way that, it's also the way that I feel about men having the whole, like, any sort of input, whether negative or positive, about abortion. I hate to say it, but if something is not coming out of your vagina that looks like a child, I'm sorry, but you might not really have, you can have a kind of an opinion, like, but keep it to yourself, right? Really, until you have to have, like any of, you know, I've always had a problem with that, and that, you know, was thinking that would mellow with age, and I don't know, it's probably really hasn't, because I feel like I get really irritated. I get irritated when they start, like, having any voice whatsoever on either side. I'm just, let us handle it, okay, guys? We got it, okay? Whether you're on the right or the left, we got it. Just, thank you. Anyhow, moving on. You're like, how did this get started with the freaking python? Because damn it, all the hell, I want to wear those boots. They're turquoise. They're not, don't think when I show you, they look like they're brown, but in the front they have, like, really light, let's call it, like, distressed looking light turquoise. You're like, yes, because pythons come in turquoise. No, guys, it's from dye. Hello. I'm so smart like that. Okay. Okay, and then Pastor Lynn said she had a vet almost kill one of her vets because she didn't know what she was doing. I said last week that I have to help. I have had the vet here. It's been a very long time for my sheep, but I must, like, get out of the way and let me find the vein, please, because you aren't very good at it. And you've been stabbed, like, many, many, many times. And Jan is a clearinghouse for contraband. Jan, I didn't know you were here. Everybody, who called her over? Damn it. You guys, I can't tell you anything without you guys. Blah, 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 blah. They didn't. Let's see. And Pam says it's terrible. And then Phineas Pratt said, we just had a chicken with Newcastle here in Alameda County. I know. That is the first time it had been this far north and my chickens were vaccinated. Okay. See? It actually, and it was in red. Don't misquote me here. Go ahead and quote me, even if my quote is wrong. I'm pretty sure there was some in Redwood City. So Alameda and Redwood City, because Alameda isn't Alameda across the bridge, right? Redwood City is over by, like, like Palo Alto area, and then across the Oakland Bridge is Alameda. I'm not sure. I think so. Alameda is like Oakland, so it went further than, yeah. I mean, you guys, I'm just telling you what I'm hoping. Okay, this could be like some fantasy, but we all know that with moisture, diseases typically are able to spread more. So for us, what I'm hoping is with the heat, because, like, it's been really hot, that's gonna, I'm not saying that I know that this for a fact about Newcastle's, but I do know that diseases love moist environments for the most part. So the outbreaks seem to have been happening, you know, in the January, February, even in the 2018. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that this, you know, I don't know how virulent, they call this a virulent strain of Newcastle's, but I'm talking about how long, I don't know how long it lives, you know, without a host. I don't know. Because technically, this is the one thing I did learn in virology. I had to take graduate level virology. And you're like, please don't throw something out that's disinformation. But viruses technically aren't alive until they find a host cell. So the idea that something is alive, is living when it doesn't have a host cell isn't real. That doesn't mean that once it enters a host cell, it can't then become virulent. Right? So, but it's not technically living unless the information has changed in the last 10 years since I had my master's. My dad is so funny. My dad, who is the big scholar of our family, it was when I was getting my bachelor's in 1994, and he was a teacher and said that there were two kingdoms, animal and plant. And I was like, what, in 1875? Because Dad, like, we got 5 now. And I think now, has it split more? Is that possible that they split one off? I think they might have. Maybe not. 5? Is there 6 now? I don't know. I actually don't know the answer to that. I think I heard that they were either toying with the idea. This is like 8, 9 years ago. But, oh, and then Samantha says, my husband is from Hawaii, and they cannot get a lot of things shipped to them. I get random packages all the time to forward to them. Yeah, I'm sure. Newcastle is a virus. It's a virus, and it kills them. Oh, I gotcha. Samantha's saying his family sends him. I gotcha. And then Samantha says she vaccinates all of her animals and her kids. Yeah, Redwood City is in San Mateo, but it neighbors Alameda. Okay, so Alameda, I don't know why I was thinking, oh, Oakland is a county. I think isn't Oakland actually a county? So, I'm from Northern California, but I've been here now long enough and that I don't now know much about Northern California anymore. I do know that my husband lived in Redwood City. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so what was I going to show you? I was going to show you. Did it get dark in here? Oh, I'm so dumb. It's getting dark outside. I'm like, did one of the lights fail? Yes, it's called the sun. Guys, okay, you guys, like I was playing with my dog today. Hang on. Okay, my wrinkles might instantly go away when I put that on, because what happens is when you turn the light on and then it's like over, then you can't have wrinkles because there's no shadowing. You're like, that's what I learned in my modeling days. Just make the lights really hot. Okay, okay, so I want to share this with you, but I'm not sure, you know, my husband was like not getting it at first. First, I'm going to let you hear this. Are you ready? Oh, I love to share my life. I actually love to hang out with you guys, which you're like, wow, you must need friends. Well, doesn't everybody need friends? Here, there it is. Oh, God. Just hope I have to pick the right video. I got this just for you guys who don't know a lot about guinea hens. To find videos, it's very important. Videos, here we go. Okay. See that sound? Okay, those are boy guinea hens. So I dated this guy who was a duck caller. Like he had won, like he was from Santa Rosa. I wish I could remember his name. I can't remember his name. He was Italian. And he was a PE teacher. So his big thing was that he'd go around and, you know, and I know, you know, people didn't know a lot about duck calling before, it's not everybody obviously, before Duck Dynasty, but now people of course know that there actually are duck calling competitions, etc. But I was just like hanging out with my dog. You're like, what? If you pinch him, he'll squeal like a guinea hen? No, I'm serious. I was like, I'm hanging out with my dog. Because the perfect canine specimen, once again, we all know that. You're like, please stop telling us that. But so there's funny things about this. My husband was listening to George Norrie, because I guess, you know, when he's at work, he listens to. Anyway, and there was this gal that was like, he said, not a crazy animal communicator, because normally he thinks they're crazy. And he said, but they actually, even though they can't communicate, they can't communicate back to us. They actually know what we're doing. They actually know everything. I don't know if that's true. First of all, I have to show you that once again. See, he's a model, perfect model. You have to strike a pose. See, he's behaving now. There you go. Behave. I mean, that's his show. This is his Westminster look. I'm telling you, this dog is special. That's not the special part. You've already seen that. So I was like doing this to him. And I actually was able to hit the frequency. If I do it to the side, I can't. It's like an acoustical thing. You're like, it doesn't even sound remotely the same. It does. It's not quite as screechy because, well, he's not letting me have his teeth. But if I can get him to let me have his teeth. If I smothered bacon on my mouth, he would totally let me have his teeth. I'm telling you, this dog is so... It's just an excuse to kiss him. We had to warm up. See, he let me have his teeth, and then it sounds more like it. You have to have his... If you want to do it with your dog, you're like, my dog licks himself. My dog licks himself too. It's okay. We're all friends here. He does not. He doesn't do those naughty things. I love this dog so much, you guys. I really do. And so, like, these Airbnbers came, and I did the perfect canine. They said, oh, look at that dog. And I said, isn't he the perfect canine specimen? I did it totally with a totally deadpan. Picked him up and held him like that. I said, look, it's obvious he is a purebred. And I put him down, and they looked at each other like I was insane. But you know what? I didn't let him see me sweat. I actually just left it at that. I said, he's so important, quite frankly. Dane, please put him in the house. I don't want anything to happen to him. That's what I did. I made Dane put him away. The lady looked at me like I was stark raving mad. Oh, okay. Speaking of Airbnb, you guys, there's always stories, isn't there? First of all, what I realized is that, you know, went to TJ Maxx today because I like Ralph Lauren sheets. They are so crisp, you guys. If you haven't had Ralph Lauren sheets, are awesome. I go online and I've only paid like usually $39 $39.99 for like full or queen, and then like $59.99 for California king. That's Scrappy's bed. My husband and I sleep in a full. Anyhow, so I'm always looking at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and I feel excessive because I it seems like I'm always buying linens, but then I was like, I'm washing them almost every day. Like, because, I mean, literally, I was like, what would happen to my sheets? It's really, but anyway, so today, I went to Marshalls and found another Ralph Lauren. Love them, and I love they're like usually light colors, so you can still bleach them. And paisley, because I love paisley, like light gray paisley, or light orange, or really light pink, like those ones. Anyhow, why am I telling you this story? For God's sake, Scrappy, look live. Remind me. If you know everything, tell me. He's not saying anything. Anyhow, I don't know what I was saying that for. Oh yeah, the Airbnb. I literally, okay, so I go and I'm looking on the upcoming reservations. So VRBO and HomeAway are linked. They're like the same company. So I have a profile for the Airbnbs on HomeAway, and profile on VRBO. I have 3 people booked for the same studio on the same dates. 5 days away. I literally thought I was drunk. I go, and there's no, like, it doesn't show conflict. It doesn't show anything. Like, it doesn't show anything. And you have, like, you can sync your calendars, but also they're already synced because they're owned by the same company, right? And it's on the same, like, when you go to, I could, dial up, or I could put in the internet, HomeAway or VRBO. It shows all of my listings, right? Either one will give me the exact same screenshot. So I look at my husband and I go, oh my God, Sean. And then all I can do is have, like, fear, you guys. Fear came through me. And it seems like that shouldn't make you afraid because you at least know 5 days in advance. But people booked, like, in January and February. Like, I felt, because 2 people or 1 person is not going to be, no matter what, somebody's not coming because of the way that they're overlapping. It's either 2 people are going to be told they can't come for the 1 person, or the 1 person's going to be told, and the 2 people can come. And I literally, first of all, the money part was like, shit, I thought I was making more money than that this month, right? Because I would have all of those. And I don't, so I call, and the thing is if you cancel as the host, you get penalized, and they won't, like, advertise you anymore, and they charge you. You get charged. So I get so worried because that, if I'm not going to get advertised, that's going to really hurt me. Even though I don't have near as many bookings through them as Airbnb. And this is how I pay my mortgage, and the 1,000 pounds of food a day that I have to feed my sheep is also largely funded by this. Well, it's not even largely funded. I shouldn't say that because I still have hay from the last part, so it's not funding it now. It's just I have hay. But anyway, it's going to be. So I call them, and the lady is so nice, and I'm like, why is she being so nice? The lady, not the lady, VRBO. Like, why is she being so nice? And then after I've talked to her for like 7 or 8 minutes, she's like, I see what happened. I see, okay, no problem. I'm like, no problem. Because it's like they put the fear of God in you in this, right? In like the description if you do this. So I'm like, why is she being so nice? And then she reveals, we've been having problems with the syncing. The syncing of the websites. So they didn't sync it. So it's their fault. I can't even tell you how, like, I still, though, felt sick to my stomach because these people, this is a destination, Temecula is, and like to have somebody cancel that, I mean, it was like the whole thing, but that's my complete fear. It happened one other time, and this is crazy. You're going to think I'm full of shit, and I'm not. It happened one other time, but the people didn't show up. So the people that showed up, I was like, and then I looked and I was like, wait a minute. There's only one where are the people? They were supposed to be here for, oh my God. And I was like, I was just hoping they wouldn't come like in the middle, and they didn't. They actually just missed their reservation, which they still get charged for. But is that crazy that the one other time it happened, that it worked out okay? Because just to let you know, I don't think anybody really wants to stay in my house. There's a lot going on in there, and it's not very big. Quite frankly, we're being overrun by mice right now. And then Christine says she loves my Airbnb stories. And then Linda says she does that with her Yorkie all the time. Yorkies are so cute. And just an excuse for Scrappy. Oh, guineas love to eat ticks. We don't have them. Maybe that's why we don't. And then Vienne says that they think that hers think that they're chickens. Yeah, mine don't think they're chickens. They roost up high and lay good eggs. Mine don't roost. Mine are actually not super bright. 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 Mine are actually not Ugly as adults. Oh, really? They're cute when they're babies? I didn't think so. Super ass loud. I like them. I just spit on myself. Yeah, the ones that the girls sound like buckwheat, 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 and the boys just screech. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, because aren't boys, they're supposed to be more like prettier, they're prettier feathers. My favorite part is this, so this gal comes, okay. So then I have this gal come with her 2 boys, and I instantly get irritated because they want to play in the treehouse, and the boys are like, I don't know, 12 or 12 and like 10. I get kind of irritated because she asks about the treehouse, and they came like at, I want to say 1 or 12:30, and check-ins at 3, and I was in the middle of cleaning it. Plus there's 3 of them, and okay. By now, I should realize that no matter what, I'm going to be wrong. But I look at it, I go, oh, I said, oh, it's okay, it's no problem that you're here. It's just, just gonna take me a few minutes. And then I was like, and I have to set up the other bed. I didn't know there were 3 of you, but I didn't say it like I was being mean, like, But she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, no, don't worry. It's just gonna take me a little bit because it does. I have to move out furniture and then move the bed in, like, so it's, it's like kind of a big deal. Why am I telling you this? This dog keeps robbing me. I think it's him. He's robbing me of my memory. I don't know why I'm telling you this woman. Why am I telling you this story? It doesn't matter. I'm going to go on. So anyway, so I'm not being mean, but I'm not being, because I'm tired. It's like, I was tiring because I get up really early in the morning. You're like, yeah, let's sing us a song, Natalie. That's what all farmers do. But, so I get everything ready, and her boys want to play. I say to her, okay, just to let you know, the treehouse is not safe. I said, it's because it's not really, which, okay, in their defense, it is you guys, the treehouse that we have is amazing. It was built by the Redwood Kings, but they weren't the Redwood Kings. They were just these guys that I know. You guys are like, we've already heard that story. But it was really costly. It was a very costly, which is why we don't have any money anymore. That kind of stuff. And it's got stained glass, and it's really beautiful. And it has like it has a cupola, and it looks like something it does look like something from Disneyland. And I said, but I don't want to tell you no, but I'm just letting you know that it's not safe. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, like what mother would actually, after you've just told them it's not safe, but if you really want to, go ahead and let them. But you have to assume the responsibility, right? Because then she's like, kids, sorry, and so I'm sure she's thinking, I would be thinking, why is it even here? But you can't take it down. It's not like a treehouse that you can just disassemble. It's like part of the landscape of our property now. I mean, it's like really, it's cemented in there. It's like a foundation. It's like basically got a foundation. We had to get a crane. We had to actually rent a crane to have it loaded off of the, they brought it in like flatbeds, and then have cranes come in. Like, yeah, it was a big deal. So anyhow, and then I tell my daughter, who speaks French, I was like, oh, there's a lady, and she's French. She speaks French. And I'm pretty cosmopolitan. Like, I can tell an accent, and I dated a French guy for 4 years. And so anyway, so then that night I'm talking to the lady, and she's like, I'm like, so where are you from? And she's like, Germany. Like, yeah, I'm really good with that. Really good at hearing accents. And then I was like, then my favorite part, do I look at her sons, and I go, so, because my sons were basically the same age, I go, so do you speak English? And they're like, yeah, we do. I was like, oh, you're American. Her sons are American. Just like, okay, why don't you just shut up now? Like, I mean, just like, seriously, just go have a couple beers and like pass out. Wake up tomorrow and hope it's a better day, which I did. But so she writes me on Airbnb, and she want a toaster. Do you have a toaster? Well, they have, this is awesome. They have a stove, right? There's an actual stove, like a propane, it's gas, like a cooktop, and it's very powerful, right? And so, I said, well, there's pans and there's cooktops, but I said I don't have a toaster because our toaster, we actually just dumped our toaster, got rid of our toaster. And so, the next day I see her, and I said, hey, I said, is there anything I can get you? And she's like, and then I realized, well, and I look at her and I go, well, it would have been nice. Yeah, you could have gotten us a toaster. I said, I'm sorry. And she goes, no, that's okay. We were going to use the iron. I think she's my new best friend, because that is very good. I was thinking, though, wouldn't it toasted faster? I'm just saying we should do like and it's an older iron, like it's one of the, it's a vintage iron. It's like literally vintage, like from the 50s. So it's like that. It's like looks like super heavy duty, and then I was like, it would smash it. But I guess that, right? Because don't you have those presses, those like cast iron presses that you like put on? Doesn't that smash your bread? So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I would have probably just used, the Teflon pan and the stove that gets very hot. And, but when she said, I was like, oh, that's an idea. But then I was thinking, Yeah, but then what about the people that use their... And then I was thinking, well, maybe she puts like a paper towel over it. I don't know. And I'm just using an iron that was normally used for clothes. I don't know that I would do that. But if that mother gets hot, let me tell you. That iron looks very good. Okay, let me look. La, 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 la. I'm singing. You're like, that's what that's called? We thought it was guinea hen screeching. And then Amber says she doesn't dare do that with her dog. They call him Pee-wee because he just lays around licking himself. I mean, so? I mean, love is love. The trio sounds super cool. Rent that thing on Airbnb, Kate, which is what I'm going to do. But I have to make it like, you should see, it's like incredible. It is. But it has to be, first of all, it's like, you get in it through a tree trunk. It's an actual tree trunk. So like, it's pretty small. If you are the size of a small, what are those people called from Lord of the Rings? Hobbit. If you are a small hobbit, you'll fit in it. But if you're bigger than a size 2, you might get stuck. I'm serious. Yeah. And then it has a sheer drop floor. So like you go in the door is the trunk of the tree, and then you crawl up this ladder, and then you get to the floor, but the opening is in the middle of the building, and the room is probably, I don't know, 8 by 8, maybe 10 by 10, might be more, maybe a little bit more, but still it's in the middle of the room, like this trap door, like and then it walks out into the bed of a truck that is lifted up by a tree trunk. The bed of the whole entire truck is like a 1930 something Ford, and it's on 2 tree trunks, and one of them, and another one, can you walk in that one, or is it just an opening? I don't know if you can walk up into the thing, but anyway, it's very cool. It doesn't matter, but I am going to turn it into an Airbnb. We have to change. We are doing it now. We didn't have enough electricity back there, and so we have to, I mean, there's just, it's a constant. I will tell you that the Airbnb is a constant. It is, it makes you money, but it's not, you think you just buy your shit and then you're done, but it's constantly something. It's like, then when, whether it's like, you have to put in the septic, there's just so much. And then the linen thing, like my towels are not cheap. They're not cheap towels. They're not, I mean, I buy them, well, they're good quality, but I buy them, I always get everything I was thinking about today. Everything that I'm wearing right now either came from Goodwill, even the Dolce & Gabbana jacket, Giuseppe Sonati shoes, or eBay. One or the other. Everything that I'm wearing. Like, I have to find it, because I can't afford to, like, still want the same quality of stuff that I could afford before, but I can't afford it, so I have to figure out how to get it. And but my towels, like the other day, and I think it's because I bleached them, so I mean they're white, and I bleached them, the ones for the Airbnb. I pulled them out of the dryer, and they look like somebody took scissors and just cut them up. They're like shredded in the middle. Like it's actually literally, you're like, what happened? Did I dry them with some sheep shears? I mean, they're that shredded. Like they were fine from the washer, but the dryer, I was like, did I get it? And it happened to 2 of them in 2 different loads. So I'm wondering if I'm using too much bleach, which I love that smell. There's nothing that smells better than bleached sheets and bleached towels. Unless you hate bleach, then of course it sucks. But I love, and I do like the one where you soak it in bleach. I mean, I'm really very clean. I've heard of making grilled cheese with an iron. Oh. Let's see. And then Kate says, crap, I need to lose some weight so I can fit into the Hobbit house. Well, what I thought is it would be a millennial house. I know, they have all the fun, don't they? And the way that they would get in is that, they have these nets that they look like a spider web. They literally are made like a spider web. And they're like for playgrounds. They like are black. And it spreads out, I want to say like 11 or 12 feet wide. And so you like pull them. And so people they have to know they'll have to enter either through the treehouse, or they will have to climb the spiderweb thing. And the only way to get down is a slide. So it still will rent, believe me. Because oddly enough, a lot of people, but we're going to rent the little Joy's trailer, that little, that's going to be really cute, the little candy. That's what I'm working on right now. So once we do that, we're going to build a deck, and I'm going to put a hot tub out there. And I was at first just going to do like one of those galvanized hot tubs, but then I was like, just buy just like put it on a credit card because it'll pay for itself. And make it a spa one, and then if you want to do the hot tub, because my friend has a pool, like his Airbnb is actually in Palm Springs, it's actually like a house, and he if they want the pool is there obviously, but they have to pay more because they'll have to heat it, right? And so they'll have to book the hot tub a wood hot tub. Not a, but I like wood hot tub because I come from Mendocino, where the redwoods are, and you know, my whole growing up was these hot tubs. Like we used to take hot tubs all the time, and so like it also is like bringing back fond memories. But anyhow, but you can have, you know, jets in them, and so it'll be wood, and then they'll have jets. But then I'd have to build a pallet fence around it. See, I'm thinking, and so and then they have these outdoor saunas that actually in Temecula you wouldn't even. All you would have to do is just have a wood room. You don't even have to have like rocks. You could literally, because I go in my tack room and it's a sauna. You literally, I can't even tell you how much, like you sweat. It's that, and I've actually said that before. My God, the wood in here, like, and because it gets like 115 degrees here. 120. Not often, but it does get, it hits that high. Most days during, like, I want to say May through like September are about 95 to 102, 105. That's Temecula. So you wear a lot of shorts. Let's put it that way. Voila. Fire pole idea, I'm digging. So we have to think about, so how would they get their luggage up though? They would have to have like a pulley system. A pulley system? Do you like how I'm doing that? Pulley system. They could like, that's, I think we need to, you guys, we need to figure this out. You're like, actually, you need to figure it out, Natalie. We don't care. No, we do. And then Shannon says, bleach can eat the fibers in the towels. Yes, I'm getting that now. But totally stay in the Airbnb that I have to climb into. My son would think that was the coolest thing ever. That's so cool. Fire pole to slide down from the top of the Hobbit house, or stripper. I like stripper. That's funny. So the bed of the truck, I thought would be where the bed was, is in the bed of the truck. So it's a bed that you would have to, they'd have to open up, because the bed of the truck, I think, should be because it's what the bed, so it's the house and then the bed of the truck and then into another, into the cab of the truck that's sitting on these, anyway. So the cab of the truck could be like, I was thinking it could be like, just like your, what is it, your side table. But the bed of the truck is where the bed is, but it's, we have like a mosquito net thing, so it's like camping, which, wouldn't you just love to camp with that sound? It's almost like heaven or hell. It just depends on which way you want to look at it. But people, I mean, it says in there that there are animal sounds. I don't think I emphasize them. I mean, I say it's peaceful except for animal sounds. Do you say that? I think I might want to, you know, you don't want to like dissuade them too much by saying my roosters get up at 1 in the morning and crow all day. You know, I think you would be staying in this on a farm because you would know that, I mean, if it's a farm and it's a working farm, you know, it's the smell of the animals that is in the, like, it's not, my husband, you guys, anybody who has a farm also knows this, okay? And anybody who doesn't have a farm, you can identify with steer manure. Okay, so I kept a bunch of goats in the round pen, and so we moved them out when it started raining really bad, and there was a bunch of hay in there that was rotting because they haven't been in there. It was like, as you know, it was worse than El Nino here. So I asked him to go disc that. So he went and disked it. It literally smelled like a kennel. It smells steer manure and kennel combined. It was so, some people came to look at some sheep, and because they wanted to buy these for their daughters. These are the ones that came, the ones with the daughters, that they wanted to teach them how to be compassionate by raising sheep, those ones. Anyhow, and I was like, why does this farm smell so bad? Maybe it's just because I'm self-conscious because, like, there's people here, not just me. And then I was like, oh my God, it's because Sean discs the round. It smells, you guys, I think you could probably smell it like 2 blocks. It smells like a dairy farm. That's what it smells like. It's so bad. So I'm getting really excited that it's finally drying up. My God. And it finally is, actually, because it's been like 80 degrees every day since it rained. Anyway, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to have to water my lawn, which is really just weeds. But when they're mowed, they look like lawn. I'm actually not kidding. Okay, but we're going to try and because we can make a lot of revenue off of weddings. Do you see where I'm going with this? Imagine your honeymoon in a mosquito net treehouse in the bed of a truck. But you do have this little area where if you want to just like fall through the trap door, you can do that too, just for fun. Or go down the stripper pole. I think I like this. I like this idea. Okay, and then we were in the 90s all last summer here in North Carolina. Oh my God, Christine said she lived in Temecula from April till November. It's hot and dry. Nobody has a nice green line. Actually, my lawn looks okay. And fireable side, yeah, okay. I think I like this idea. I need more. Yeah, you guys, that's the thing too, is I have to figure out, like, what I want to do is make, you guys are like, do we really, can we talk about fiber? No, but I will. Oh my God, you know what I'm going to show? Okay, so, okay. I am going to talk about a little bit about it. Not too much. Because I don't want to bore you. I don't want to bore you with fiber stuff, for God's sake. But anyway, so I went on the warpath yesterday, so it was like somebody flipped a switch. I realized that Landmark Forum has helped me, but yesterday, I'm still myself, and I freaking flipped my shit yesterday. Because my kids, I know people that have kids that have devices understand that I don't care how many times you say, I want you to do this. I've been saying for 3 years, not shitting you, to Jade, I need you to fix my blankets, my sheet blankets. I need you to fix my blanket. But I had to order $1,400 worth of blankets the day before yesterday. And I have probably 500 blankets that need to be repaired. For 3 years, I've been, okay. My kids are so good because they're like, let's tell her what she wants to hear, because she's not going to check. Clean your room, clean your room, clean your room. Okay. Okay, yes, absolutely. But then by the nighttime, I forgot that I told them to clean the room till the next morning when I'm fresh again. And then I'm like, did you guys clean your room? Oh, we're working on it. Then it's like a year later. I'm not shitting you. And Jenny used to not believe that this is possible until she tried to get my kids to do things. They're so good at just saying, of course. Yes, okay, we're doing it now. Right now, it's being done. And then the next day, so did you, well, we're finishing it. And then the next, I was still working on it. I mean, but then, you know, you get busy and it's, 4 weeks later and they're like, oh, it got messy again. We'll work on it. It was never cleaned. Okay. I flipped my shit so bad. I grabbed their game, whatever they are, Nintendo, whatever these things are, and grabbed them, ripped them out of the walls and with the TVs, threw them out the second-story window. I gotcha, baby. I didn't care anymore. I said, and I then became a shrew. How many times? How many times? I was like, I just need you to give me a number. Give me a number. How many times have I asked you? How many times? Like thousands. The number thousands came out of their mouth. How many times have I told you that I'm going to flip my shit when I figure out that nobody is listening to me and helping me because I can't do it myself. I can't do it all myself. So what needed to be done? What was the problem, Natalie? The problem is that I opened a closet and there was rat poop in it. I opened it underneath the sink. There's rat poop in it. I go into the pantry. There's rat poop in it. I go into my garage. There's rats in the trap. Not rats, it's mice. And I went upstairs because my son had a friend over that I didn't even know was staying the night, which I don't really care. But they said that they had cleaned the room, and it was just a freaking disgusting pigsty. It was the room Jenny stays in, the one above our garage. It's like a mother-in-law house, kind of. And so anyway, I just started grabbing shit and just throwing it out the second-story window. Throwing it out the second story. Throwing it. I didn't care. Onto concrete. I didn't care. I didn't care what it was. I didn't care. The stuff that was my husband's in there, because there's like, like guitars and things like that. That stuff I didn't, but I brought everything down to the garage. I just was like, I've had it. And then I gave these kids like these tasks. I was like, you are on the outside refrigerator. You are on the inside refrigerator. You are on the under the sink. And then we're going to circle back. And one of you is going to do the closet, the downstairs closet. And then I was like, I literally, these kids, and I was like, you're going to go take brushes to every single one. I was like on this like serious gutting this place and cleaning frenzy. And why are we here again? Scrappy, stop stealing my thoughts. Where are you, you little cur? And by cur, I mean loved one. But Mike House, let me just tell you right now, I wouldn't say I would eat off my floors, but I will tell you the rat poop is not present at this moment. Just give it till tomorrow. No, my husband set traps. My husband set traps, so the mouse hunter, which I told you he kept getting him from the garage. And I'm like, it really is a masculine thing. Some men use guns, you use mouse traps, but I just have to let you know, when you come back from the hunt and you're holding them by their little tails, which he doesn't do, actually, he holds them by the trap. I know. Anyway, and why am I talking? Oh, I had a point to this. When I was gutting the upstairs and throwing shit out the window, I found some stuff from Janice's that I didn't know I had. I thought I got rid of most everything, like that was valuable, because I either sold it in a sale to help her husband, or stuff that was I really treasured. I ended up giving to, or not, she actually bought it, but to Arlene, and she was putting it in the museum. This is one of the things. Can you believe I can't? I keep losing my train of thought. He keeps stealing it. I'm gonna have to wear a tinfoil hat. Anyhow, this is one thing that she did. I was telling you, she was really a genius, a genius artist. So what she did here, I'm just gonna tell you that I do. Let me put on my glasses before I commit to anything besides the fact that it's felted. Is she would knit them, but then she'd also do freeform crochet on them, and then felt them. So like she has these freeform crochet things that she spent a lot of time doing, and then felted it. She had a great eye for color. And she probably weighed 375 pounds. And she had, if she would have been a fashion designer, I'm telling you. Amazing. She's the one that knit this. And then here's one of the freeform crochet things that I found. That was in like a box. It was in like a medium flat rate. Freeform crochet. I mean, she was something. She was really something. Just a true, I mean, honestly, her eye for color, and that's something you just can't teach. She did her workmanship, and what she would do is she would enter a lot of these things that I have. She would enter them into competitions. I showed you the one freeform crochet train case, but I want to show you the other one that I didn't show you that day. You guys, I am taking my life into my own hands here, walking through all these secrets I'm telling you. I mean, you know, this is the people that can do this kind of stuff would make great accountants. These are the people that I admire because it takes a lot of, okay, this, to be honest with you, has been sitting in my studio and not been dusted for 5 years. You're like, so what you're saying is you're clean? I just said I was. Hello. Please. I'm just tapping it to make sure there's nothing alive in here. Anyhow. I mean, you guys, come on. Seriously? This woman did this. You're like, it's nothing more than crochet bombing. I mean, she is a serious, amazing artist. And it's sad that she's passed away. So all the sparkle on here, by the way, is just fiber lice, also known as Angelina, from my Angelina stash. I mean, just everything. She's a genius. Doesn't look near as good on camera as it does in real life, by the way. You're like, it looks stupid and patchworky. No, these are all flowers. You guys, I'm going to hold it up because now I feel like I looked at it in there and it looks stupid. I'm telling you, you guys. Okay, I want the camera to adjust to this. Here, let me turn it around this way. Because you see? I mean, I'm telling you, it's true genius. True genius. True genius. Okay. So, what do I have today? Let me see. Actually, you know what I found that I can give away today? You're like, thank God she's going to give something away and just shut her crap. I found, but you guys want, not everybody's going to like this. And it's been sitting outside in a, not like outside in the rain. It was sitting in a bag because I found it. Looks a little ratty. I'll tell you why. Because it's a cottage industry in India, anything having to do with silk. So this is, you guys, it probably looks like shit on this camera because it gets degraded. This is silk, Throster silk yarn. But when I do that, I'm just making a mess. Hang on, just let me see it. Hang on. The colors actually are amazing. But not everybody's going to like it because it's heavy. It's bulky. So only want this if you think you can use it. It's bulky and it's rough. And you know, silk isn't made to be spun this thick, but it's this. It's so pretty. So it's like 4 skeins or something. And I want to say each of these is like, is it 50 grams? I'll weigh it. My favorite part is this one. It's actually quite beautiful. It's hard to imagine it is because I just messed it up. Because you're like, yeah, it looked so good before I started messing with it. You're like, yeah, that kind of looks like your makeup too. You looked so good before you started putting makeup on. I do have like raccoon eyes all the time, and apparently that's not a good thing. As I said before, I call it heroin chic. Because I look like I just went on a heroin bender. let's see, or am a member of, what is that? Remember, Sex Pistols? Yeah, so here, this is it. Okay, I did still mess it up. I'm sorry. It was all pretty. But let me weigh it really quick and I'll tell you. I'm going to weigh it. There are, I think 4 or 5 skeins. Let's see. You're like, so basically you get your giveaway is all the shit you don't want. Pretty much. Okay, let's see. It's 12, 13 and 1/8 ounce. So I'm going to tell you in grams. Let me see. Hang on. They're like, we're hanging, Natalie. 350 or 400 grams. 400. 300. Wait, because it's hitting the thing, so it's not. It's hard to say. It keeps like leaning on stuff. It's between 350 and 400 grams, somewhere in there. But it actually is quite beautiful. But it is bulky. It is bulky, and it's not as light, you know, as it's not as, some of it is way too thick. This actually was spun pretty good, to be honest with you. Some of it is really super bulky, and then, I mean, I won't even want to use it. I wouldn't do that to you. Let's see. So if you want to be in the drawing, I'm not going to look right now. Now just say, no, I actually only have one link. This one on YouTube, which I can't give you. It's youtube.com/NamasteFarms. Because I was told people, you know, I assumed that we wouldn't get on straight away. So I, instead of saying like, what YouTube channel do you think, I said, go to YouTube if you want to chat, and Facebook, right? So would have been nice if I would have said the YouTube channel. So I just said it. Anyhow, so if anybody is interested, I'm going to give all of those ones away, the 370 to 400 grams. Like, really, because a few minutes ago you said 75. I don't know. It's somewhere in there. Okay, so you guys, you can weave with it. Well, you guys, you have to say yes, put me in the thing. Okay, Allison says she would be in it. And then Christine says she would be in it. And then Ms. Shelley, that would make a good fade sweater. So there's not enough of it, but you could put it in something. Purple chartreuse, yes. Definitely use it. Crochet. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Let me get everybody. Let's see. I'm looking. I'm looking. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, I am going to, I'm gonna count from where. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask, I'm going to start from from Scott, which is Miss Dahlia. Unless there's someone before that that's interested in it. Okay, wait, okay. Okay, wait, now I'm going to start with yes. I'm sorry, wait, yes, because you're saying yes. Okay, so wait, no, it's not, okay, I'm going back. Okay, I'm starting with Kelly Clark now, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Okay, so there's 38 people. I'm just going to randomly, because obviously I wouldn't know, let's see. I'm going to do a random number generator. Oh, 38, 39, 40, 40, new window, 40, 41. Okay, random number generator. Here, random number generator. From 1 to 30, let me make sure if he ends the right. Oh, 31. 40. Kelly, I have you in there as 1. You're 1. 41. Did I say 41? Am I at 41? Shit, you guys, I'm so stupid. I think I'm at 41. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Okay, 47. That's where I'm at. 1 to 47. Here we go. Generate. 40, it's 44. Shit, I can't turn around and show you. But I promise you it's 44. You guys believe me? Where's my phone? Just gonna so you don't think I'm lying, because I don't want. So that's gonna, we're gonna work back from the last person that just did it. Okay, so it's nice and blurry. 44. So we're gonna work back. Who is that? 1, 2, 3. Diana. Right? Was it 48? Wait a second. Wait, let me make sure. No, 47. I'm sorry. That's not. I'm Diana. That makes me feel bad because I just. It would be. Wait. It'd be. You're like, Natalie, don't be stupid. I'm sorry. I'm so dumb. Number 44. 47. 46. Oh, I was right. Diana, it is you. Diana, it's you. And shit, I think I already sent your stuff. Damn it. It's like I would have just shoved it in there. Maybe not. Okay, it's Diana. I think we should do a random number generator. I think that's so much better. Even though you guys are like, oh, well, it depends on if you want to wait for you to count badly. No, I think I did a good job on counting. So, Diana, I am going to be sending it to you. You guys, I remember, didn't I say, like, you guys, okay, I have to, there's so many things I have to do. Ugh. I think I need to start taking vitamin. That's another story. Okay, at some point are we going to talk about wheels? I saw that, by the way. We'll talk about wheels, but they are like lovers. They are like lovers. Not that you make love with your spinning wheel, but the point is that everybody has a different opinion. But I can tell you what I think. Wait, who asked that? Okay, Amber Holtrust. Can we talk about wheels sometime, like quick and dirty? Ooh, when you say quick and dirty, I don't like the quick part. The dirty part I really like. I'm in the market for my first and not sure what I want. But I would, yes, we can. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. Next week, we're going to talk about wheels. And I think that when we open this up for discussion, people in chat, it's going to overwhelm you. I'm going to tell you what I think and what wheels I've tried. And then people can comment. But I am telling you, this is the first thing I want you to think about, Amber. And everybody else who's interested in a wheel, is you have to think of the orifice, which I love that word. Orifice. Because depending on what kind of yarn you want to make. And then you have to think about if you're taking it somewhere, because there are wheels that, you know, it's really, those are some things like, it's not just about whether or not you like the way the wheel works, because you'll get used to it. As long as the wheel works, you'll get used to it. Even if at first you're like, okay, it's, you know, it works really well. It's smooth. It treadles easily, you know, however, and there's things like, you know, also single or double treadle. And I have to tell you, like, I had a single treadle at first, and the one leg that was treadling got so tired. But a lot of people like single treadles. So, you know, I bought a single treadle on purpose, because even though I'm athletic, I was like, yeah, do I really want to use, you know, is that going to be like, it was stupid. I should have had, so I got rid of it very quickly, because my legs, I got to get tired. And so anyway, double treadle is the only way for me. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you ready? This is what Siri heard. Just about whether or not you like the way the world works, because you'll get used to it. As long as the wheel works, you'll get used to it. Even if at first you like it, okay, it's, you know, it works really well. Shut up. She's not, now she's like, I'm not sure I understand. Well, we don't understand either. Oh. She's going on and on and on. She just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. You guys, really, if you want to have fun, and I've said this before, just, even if it's not, you know, send by Siri a text to, like, somebody you feel comfortable with, preferably somebody that you don't mind swearing in front of or saying naughty things, because no matter, I could just say to Siri, text Sean, what would you like to say? And then I could just say something like, don't forget, we need deodorant and toothpaste. And she'd be like, do you want to have a rendezvous? And I promise that I will be naked and I will love you too. Also, I would like hot tamales. And you're like, what? Where did you get that from that? Like, I'm serious. And then I'm like, oh, she must pick from what we usually talk about. Like what I'll say. Like hot tamales is in there, you know, and then like sex will be in there, and then like naked. But then she puts all of these thoughts together in one thing and it doesn't even sound coherent, which it doesn't. And then he'll write me back and he'll be like, what? Some of it sounds sexy and the other part sounds like you're really hungry. I'm like, yeah, duh. Anyway. Okay, you guys. So I hope that I see you next Tuesday. We're going to talk about wheels next Tuesday. I promise. Did you like how I didn't look you in the eye? Let's try it again. We're going to talk. I can't even do it with Steve face. Hang on. Hang on. Got to get my politician face on. We're going to talk about wheels next week. I can't do it. I told you I'm a terrible. We did, for one, a couple of beats. We did, not even beats. We probably did a couple of verses of Guinea Hen. I had to warm up first, and it's his fault because I couldn't get to his teeth. Wait, I love you guys. You guys are so good, and you make me feel so important, and you make me feel so wanted. Oh, I didn't tell you. We did schedule Die Secrets, and we also scheduled, Fleece, the What When, no, that's the other class. Fleece is Revealed, and the Fleece and Fiber Masterclass. Those are all scheduled. Do you like how I don't know? God dang it, you guys, I didn't put up the schedule. I didn't grab the schedule. Hang on. I have the schedule for some of the classes. They're in April. They start in April. You're like, really? Because March is basically over, so that would be good if they didn't start like last week. And you let us know. I'm just looking at Kristen. Kristen made the schedule for me because she's awesome. Let's see. I have to open in Sheets. Yes. Fleeces Revealed starts the 22nd of April through the 25th. It's like 1.5 hours a day, but it's recorded. This is a pre-record. This is a really good. These are this. I did this class. I want to say last year. Was it last year? So these are ones that are recorded, but you have live study sessions, so you can watch them whenever you want, and they're open. I think for 2 weeks. You get to watch them for whatever time for 2 weeks. She just starts them on these dates. So on the 22nd, she'll start of April, and then it looks like. Hang on. There's more rows below. Then in May. Oh, it's 5 days. Oh, no. It's the study session is the 5th day. And then the Fleece and Fiber Masterclass starts on May 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. If you guys want to know a lot about fleece, I'm telling you, like, I really tell you a lot. I really do. You're like, stop tooting your own horn. And then the Masterclass study session is on a Saturday. And then what we do is we do a live study session for any questions that you have on either of those classes. Then we start Die Secrets. I don't see Die Secrets on here. Do I see Die Secrets? Yes, I do. Die Secrets looks like it starts on. Let's see, you're like, you're so attractive when you do that. Die Secrets starts on May 19th. So that's the first class in the series, you guys. And it's really, I'm telling you, you do learn a lot. You learn a tremendous amount. It was hard because people, you know, I mean, it's not hard. That Die Secrets, you learn so much, but if you want to become a teacher, then it starts getting harder because obviously I don't want people to be teachers, you know, that are under the writing method that can't execute it. So, like, it's not meant to be easy, but it's meant, you know, the final exam is not meant to be easy. It's meant to be authentically efficient and reasonable. In other words, I have to be able to do it, and enough people have done it successfully, the test, that, you know, and I want to say 6 or 7 people have gotten 100% on it. And I don't know who they are, by the way. That's all. No, I don't know anybody's names when they hand in the tests. They have to send them to me without their names on them, and by a number. They're given a number. Because I don't want to know who they are, because I don't want to have preferential bias and, you know, like do that thing where you're like, oh, well, they probably, I know she knows, you know, I don't want to do that. And then I do them all together, you know, within the span of a few days, so that I make sure that, you know, I don't have one lingering and then I end up knowing who it is. Because someone would be like, you know how it is. Oh yeah, I'm sending mine in late. Wink, wink. So anyway, point is that we're going to start having classes. You're like, we don't give a shit. But I hope you guys, some of you take them. I'm going to put the links up. And unless I don't think Kristen did, and I'll put those up probably tomorrow, and they'll be on readymethod.com/enroll, and for those of you who are interested in any of the classes. Anyway, other than that, I will see you next Tuesday. Be there, be square, 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for showing up, and I do love and appreciate all of you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.